Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the stream. This is your host, Disco Potato, coming back at you live from the esports training room. Here we have tonight DSU versus UMT for League of Legends. We're going to hop into the draft here, onto the pick ban phase. Bans starting off for DSU, going on in. Looks like they got Caitlyn as the first ban. Right off the back, real quick, UMT doing the Nunu and Willump ban. Oh, and here we see Lilia and Zach. These bans are going real quick. Going back and forth. We see, oh, there's a Volley Bear. Alright, so it looks like we have an ADC pick ban, and then we have our top laners ban and the jungler ban. And over here we have their jungler twice, and then their support as a ban on Thresh. Very interesting. Very interesting indeed. First pick goes to DSU. We'll see what they decide to lock on in first. Oh, looks like they got the Misfortune pick. So our bot laner normally plays either Caitlyn or Misfortune, so we'll see what we decide to pick on up here. We do see Set as our jungler is pretty good at playing Set in the jungle, so that's it's going to be very interesting, very interesting. All right, and Jinx for our bot lane ADC. Very nice, very nice. All right, we'll take a look at what DSU decides to lock in for their last two. Then we'll switch over to UMT for the last pick. Test 10 seconds left on the clock. They're trying to decide what they want to try to go back and forth on, because they're unsure if Set's going to be top or jungle, but I'm sure they can probably assume Set's going to be jungle if they did their research right. We do see a Rakan pick for support pick down in the bot lane, so Misfortune Rakan is pretty strong. It's going to be interesting to see that down in the bot lane. We'll see if University of Montana decides to pick up on the support play or not. Ivern and Hecarim, they're trying to decide what jungle they're going to play, and Hecarim is the choice of the night for their jungle. We get a Yone for our mid lane or top laner going on in. Strong, I believe our top laner, Coles, is going to play Yone. He's getting pretty good at Yone. Ooh, and right off the bat, UMT bans Syndra right at the start. Very interesting. Oh, and there's a Morgana hover on the ban, and a lock-in for Morgana ban. Lysandria as a ban for UMT to finish on out. And there's a Nico, which is interesting because Coles played Nico up in the top lane, but he's chosen Yone. So that Nico is actually quite a good ban for UMT, actually, because UMT already has their person who would have been Nico already picked as Yone instead. We see a Lux pick, most likely for our support down in the bot lane. He's pretty good at Lux, loves playing him. Lux and Jinx against a Rakan Misfortune is going to be pretty interesting. We do see a Zed hover potential to counter either Lux or Yone, as I think that's what they're thinking is going on there. Still on the hover, switching over to Rise right off the bat there. Trying to get it back and forth. So now our mid lane is going to have to pick against a Rise, as we have a lot of choices where these champions can go if they're looking at it. All right, we see an Ornn hover for their top laner. This side, Ornn against Yone can be very interesting, that's for sure. All right, they lock in Ornn as the top lane. So now we'll get to see the last pick is probably our mid laner. Shy is very good. They didn't ban Katarina, and they also did not ban Samira. So we could see the Katarina lock-in as the last pick. We've seen how awesome Shy is at Katarina. It's kind of his one-shot wonder if he gets the pick. We see a Karma pick. Very interesting. Okay, so Coles is really good at both Yone and Karma. He's a very strong player on both of them, so I actually don't know who's deciding to play who. in the lock-in phase here. So I'm interested to see if Shy's going to play Karma or Yone, or if Cole's going to play either one. Honestly, it's a very back and forth. They could go in either lane. Yone can go both. Karma can go both. I do see Karma in the top lane or the bot lane as a support more often than I do in the others, aka mid lane. So this is going to be interesting where we see that pick.
Right.
All right, so we switch on in over to the actual game after we did the draft pick. Back and forth with the Caitlyn and the Nunu. And then we have the Volibear and Lilia. Although Lilia was technically banned first and then Volibear, but it actually doesn't matter too much now that they've done the pro draft. All right, we have the Zac right there. Third, there's the Lilia. Good old 1-2. And then we'll go ahead and we'll be able to see where each lane is. Everyone's lined up in their order: top lane, jungler, mid laner, ADC, and then support. So it does look like Karma is the pick against the Ornn. So Karma against Ornn in the top lane. Coles is playing Karma. I haven't seen Shy play Yone yet, but that's just me, and we haven't seen him on stream play him either. So this is very interesting. It's going to be a nice little mid lane, Yone against Ryze. I don't know about the matchup, but I'm excited to see it. The bans are going back and forth. They have the Morgana ban on the other side here. I was very surprised that even though Katarina was not banned, they didn't choose Katarina for the team to have Shy go in there. I think they did see that they had locked in Yone, I think, for the top lane originally, and because they locked in Ornn at the end there, they knew Yone will have a difficult time against Ornn, so they chose Karma and gave Yone to Shy. That could be the situation that I'm seeing here, but I'm not 100% sure as I'm not in their comms right now. So that's a little back and forth that we kind of have to figure out. We'll see how Shy does in the mid lane as Yone against a Ryze. Very strong champion, so I have a lot of faith. I have a lot of faith in Shy here. So we'll see what's going on in there. I don't know what it is, but I think you guys got sleepy potato today. I'm yawning a bunch. Slapping myself left and right. Gotta give myself a little back and forth, you know what I'm saying? All right, so everything's locked in. We get a nice little team setup going, strong. The jungle is going to be interesting. Jet Jaguar is very strong as Set. It's one of his favorite characters other than Volibear, as Volibear was his original favorite before Set came out. Got to keep to your roots, however, as Volibear is very strong for him to play. Very good back and forth in every lane. The bot lane is going to be interesting. Our ADC typically he played Caitlyn and Misfortune in all the other games, but he got hardcore kind of banned for one, and then they got the first pick off on him to take it on out. So we'll see how bot lane goes. Misfortune and Jinx against each other is very interesting play. Nice good back and forth between the two of them. As long as Jinx can get her traps down and her snare going with the slow, she can be pretty strong in the bot lane. All right, and I know Rakan Lux. Now, Rakan has a lot of I go in, and he has a dash knock up, which can be very strong. If Lux can hold on to her stun when Rakan jumps in, she can catch him off guard and keep him stopped and break him down right there. All right, so a lot of good back and forth here. We have a little highlight video for you guys, broadcasting strong. We will have a little pop-up here as we're going into the game. We're waiting for the spectator delay, so you guys can go ahead and watch this while you hang on out with us here in the broadcasting spirit. Some little videos of the past. This is some of our past games from last week as well. Very good back and forth going on in here. Yeah. All right, sending it to us. Bringing it down. Nice double kill going in strong. I do want to give a shout out to the UC Game Room, as they are our proud partners in all of this. We have a lot of good stuff going on with them. We actually have an entire half of it set up as a cyber cafe for all you guys to enjoy. You can head on in there with your friends and play games, all sorts of games that are already installed. Everything that we play as an esports program are on there. You can also, for next semester, check out our esports class that we have hosting strong, taught by our coach Kale, who's awesome in doing what he has. You can join it and you can play and learn about all the games that we play here at the university for our Griz esports program. It's super fun, great place, and we're glad that they are our partners in all of this. If you want more information, you can visit their website at ucgameroom.umt.edu. You can follow our channel if you haven't already, and you can make sure you can subscribe as well and get access to our sweet emotes. We're very close to getting our second emote out, which we have quite a surprise for you guys. It's going to be pretty nice, pretty fun. If you've hung out with us throughout the days and you've listened to me cast in and love what I do and love hearing my voice, then this is definitely the emote for you. We're going to have a great time with it. Also want to give a shout out on October 17th here at 2 p.m. Mountain Time. We have a UC Game Room / Twitch set up for a Minecraft repertory here, which we actually have a really great kind of get together for Minecraft where all of our students and whatnot can hop into the server, and they've made some crazy cool things, whether it's mazes, whether it's parkour, whether it's cool dodgeball. We have all sorts of stuff that students have been making, and we're going to get together on the 17th. We're going to hop in. I'm going to spectate. We're going to cast people going through for the first time. I'm going to do some action. Everyone's going to go in and do some action. We're going to have a great time, as we have always have a great time here at the University of Montana. So starting off into the game, we get them running on down here. Looks like they are going in potentially in a 5-man invade from the team here, as DSU's running on down into Tribush. They're going to run around. We do see a 5-man spread from the University of Montana getting ready to find that vision from the enemy team here. But it looks like they might actually just be getting ready and stacking here, expecting them to invade from the bottom Tribush. Oh no, it looks like they are running on in. Jinx does spot them and runs on back, seeing them go in. We do see 2 people backing their top laner and their jungler sitting on back there, making sure that they don't miss anything. They do have deep wards going in. Yone was able to walk on over and get a ward on the crows while they were down in the Tribush. We do have a deep ward from Karma up there near the blue buff on the minimap, you can see, and we also have another ward on the blue buff for our team because Set is starting red. Very nice, very nice. With items bought, Karma doesn't have any items at all. She forgot to buy items. Oh no. It's not looking too hot for Coles up there in the top lane. That's not a good start. Not a good start at all. Very interesting indeed. Alright, heading on over, getting a nice good back and forth in the mid lane. Shy's doing some good hits. A little good CS playing back and forth. Right on. Oh, thanks for the shout out, Archer Mom. I'm glad you love being here. Dang, you're right, Veggie. He doesn't need items to be a superior player. He has the overpowered champion up in the top lane. Top lane Karma against Ornn. Pretty spicy for him. Lots of good back and forth. Ooh, Shy's taking some good hits from Rise over there. And Jinx got pretty poked down. Didn't quite see too much from the pokes going from him, but Misfortune has some strength in poking, so it's not looking too hot in the bot lane. In the jungle, we do see Hecarim is making his way through his jungle. His Set also does it. He did leave Krugs till last. He's going down. He's at his blue buff, taking it strong as he did start red. Both teams are back and forth. We have some pings going off left and right here. We do see Hecarim is looking a little low in the jungle. Not looking too hot for him. We see bot lane is pushed under tower, and Shy is jumping on in, doing some damage. Oh, here we see Set coming on in. We get a flash from Rise, and here comes Hecarim. Ooh, Jet Jaguar also get a flash, but Hecarim threw him on down. There's the shield coming from Set, and first blood goes to Yone, and Jet Jaguar is able to make it on out of there alive. Yone's throwing on down on the Rise, bringing him in as Rise was out of mana. Double kill goes to Yone, aka Shy, in the mid lane. Very nice, very nice. You love to see it, but you also hate to see it when you're on the DSU team. Lots of good back and forth, lots of good little gank there. Hecarim tried to come in the best he could, but alas, he just couldn't quite get the DPS off, and Set was able to get away with Yone doing Yone things over there and getting off that good first blood and the hits. We can see Jinx is getting knocked up. There's the knockup from Rakan, throwing down under tower, and shots were fired, going in strong, and a lot of good shielding and a summoner heal from Rakan right there to keep Misfortune alive from the turret. Oh my Che, was that crazy. Whew. And here we see Set is over there taking bottom scuttle. He might come in on the bot lane cleanup in a little 2v2 with Lux going in strong. There was a little ward there, so they did see that Set was over there nearby. Oh, Yone knocking up, getting a dash back on, doing some good damage to Rise. Hecarim is there. He does ping that he's on his way, getting ready for a gank. Hecarim wants to go on in strong. We do see Lux is going to walk over and take out this pink ward that Hecarim had used to take out their pink ward. Throwing it on down. They are getting ready for Dragon, which is up pretty soon here. It's going to go. Let's see if I can give a shout out to our broadcaster if he can turn on the Baron and Dragon timers so we can see that in the corner. That would be dandy. Here we see nice good back and forth. Orin and pulls in the top lane. Nice dash from Shy, doing some good back and forth. He is rooted. He dashes on back to get himself out of there as he did half health to Rise. And there we do see Dragon is up, and thank you very much, Vendor Cascast, for listening on me. Love having good support there. Coles is just bringing in the heat on the Ornn in the top lane. Here we see Hecarim jumping on in. Lux is getting caught out in a 3v1 in the bush here and taken out by Hecarim, who gets a kill. Shy dashes on in, is at half health, dashes on back, bringing Rise down to very low. Oh my Che, you saw that hit points, ladies and gentlemen. You can look on the right side of the screen. Shy was looking low after that last turret shot. Whoa. Whew. Oh my Che. Looks like Dragon is started by blue side here. Set's gonna come on in, do some good damage. Oh, it's in a 3v1 now. He's trying to do his best. He's gonna get caught out. A shield pops on up. He gets a kill on Hecarim. He goes in and gets taken out by Rise. A knock-up from Ornn right there, doing a lot of good damage on a Karma, but Karma throwing it right back at him. The minions as well were throwing in the harassment as he's getting taken out. It's not looking good as Dragon's going to get taken by DSU at the first checkpoint here. Nice ultimate knock-up onto Coles there. Lots of damage onto Coles. He's got to get out of there. He can't contest with the Ornn. He has to flash out of there. The flash from the Ornn doing the auto attack. Let's see if he can get the kill, but it looks like he doesn't quite. Shy is doing some good damage. He's taking a lot of hits, though. He's back at half health, but so is Rise. A lot of good old 1-2s going in strong. Looks like Coles was able to get away from Ornn just barely. Ornn's getting some good hit points back as he's getting into the top lane. Coles might have to back off pretty strong here. Looks like DSU is coming in with some good heat. They're catching back up after a little bit down on the late game. Looks like Jet Jaguar is hopping on in. He's going to jump on in. Shy's doing some damage. He's going to have to teleport back to himself. There's the kill on Rise with a nice gank from Set coming in strong. Very well done. Shy is looking a little low, however. Lots of good damage coming from Rise. Coles is doing some damage on this Ornn, bringing him out from turret, though. Coles is taking some heat. And here's Set bringing it in strong, and he dashes away. Ornn gets pulled back in by Jet Jaguar, and the kill goes to the Set up in the top lane. Very nice gank. I love to see it. Wow. Alright, oh, there's an ultimate from Misfortune, and Hecarim's coming on in. He's gonna try to jump off, but lots of good damage on Misfortune right there. A shield from Rakan after he was stunned, and he's getting caught out. Jinx was not able to do it, but Lux getting a kill onto Hecarim after stunning him under turret, keeping in that pressure. Jinx was just caught out of location. A miss of the stun from Archer66, but Yone's here to take up the backup. Archer66 getting caught out down there, but alas, Yone was able to make it up with a kill on Misfortune. Rakan's coming into the bush. He was able to get away just barely, however. He was brought down to about a third hit points. Jet Jaguar coming in strong. He's going to go and dash and pulling the stun on the Ornn, throwing him the ultimate, and Cole's getting a kill in the top lane, bringing him in strong. That's what I like to see, folks. The pull, the flash over, and then the ultimate to throw him out from under turret was an amazing play and gank from Jet Jaguar in the top lane there. Very strong gameplay coming at you live from the real Jet Jaguar. And here we see Shy got ganked, but alas, Hecarim wasn't able to quite do too much. It looks like Herald was dropped up here in the top lane, getting that turret out of there, bringing it to half health. He goes and drops it, and then just boom, chunk from the Herald, bringing it down. Ornn has to deal with that, pops it out, taking out the Herald. Good to see. Yeah, Yone is now 4-0. Karma's 1-0. Unfortunately, Jinx down here in the bot lane's 0-2. Not looking too hot for him. Although he did get kind of shut out in the pick ban phase. Oh, good damage coming from Shy. He goes and teleports back. Oh my goodness. I just love seeing how Yone, he goes, dashes forward, does some damage, and then he just teleports on back out of there. Oh, we see an ultimate from Rakan popping down the Jinx with the Misfortune ult after she got knocked up, stunned under tower. So much damage from the bot lane. Misfortune Rakan bringing it out and around. Looks like Karma and Set are both going to go and get ready for Dragon, which is up in a minute 20. They're going to go and try to take out the bot lane as they're heading on in here. It's a lot of good back and forth. They're trying to help get that push. Set's going to go on down. We see a Q throw, a double root, and then an ultimate from Lux. Throwing it down. Coles gets a kill. Hecarim is in the tri-bush, however, and he's got to be careful because now there are 4 people down here in the bot lane throwing it on down. Top lane has been won and declared ahead of the game for Coles, so now he does have the advantage to roam around. Oh my goodness. Wow. Yeah, he had actually just leveled up. That was sweet. Lux had just hit 6. As that was going off, he threw out the Q, hit the ultimate, and brought it on down. You can see Jinx is still level 5, but is probably going to level up here pretty soon. Now, Jinx does have a nice little global ultimate ability where he can throw a giant rocket across the map. So, it's going to be nice. Right here we see a nice little engagement. There is a ward in the bush, though. They were able to see it coming. Misfortune threw down the cannon fire and slowed them down, bringing it in strong there. All right, Dragon has spawned. It's Infernal Drake. We'll see what happens. They're trying to get ready for it. Blue is in a bit of an advantage over Dragon right now. Jet Jaguar and Lux are popping it down over here. They are stacked now, 4 men. They're waiting for Coles to get there to engage anything, however. So they're going to hop it on in. They're starting Dragon. We'll see what happens here. Set's probably going to run in. Ultimate the Rakan into the team, potentially getting him down. We do see there was no contesting over Dragon at all, actually. So they threw it on down. Bringing it through. All right, so that's 2 dragons down. It is a mountain map, however, though. So we'll see what happens. Hopefully we can get a better advantage over Dragon, because we sure do need to take at least the next couple. Looks like bot tower is going to drop pretty fast here as Misfortune and Rakan are really applying the pressure. They're actually standing behind the turret even when Misfortune was doing autos. Coles is throwing in the damage. I love the skin on Karma. The Dark Star Karma is really sweet. It is getting caught out in a 2v1 here, however. Throwing on down the damage on Ornn and Hecarim. Trying to bring in. Here comes Yone and Jet Jaguar for the kill. Throwing on down, getting the pull. Jet Jaguar takes the kill on Hecarim. Here's the Rise, getting ready to ultimate in, but alas, he gets stunned and knocked out of his ultimate, not able to get away. Coles is throwing down the damage onto Ornn as he goes under his own tower, escaping just barely. A lot of good stalling and back and forth coming from the University of Montana, getting baited by the tank Karma into the team there as Yone and Set came on up. Very well done. Nice. I don't think Hecarim and Ornn are too happy about what just happened there. But look at Misfortune. She's behind the turret, clearing minion waves while the turret's being taken out by her support. Knock up on Karma, throwing down a lot of damage. Ornn is getting rooted and poked on down as well. Lots of good back and forth in the top lane for sure. Here we see Archer 66 and Emergency are just trying to hold the best they can. Jinx is just standing there, actually. What's she doing? She's not autoing anything. She was just taking hits from the minions. I think she was stopping them so that they don't get under tower. It's pretty good for CS, trying to wait for your next minion wave. So you take a few hits from your own minion wave, from your own enemy minion wave. You take some hits so that, yes. And in chat, Veggie even saying she is freezing the wave. Very nice, very nice. Big brain, big brain. All right, Shy is over here with the Misfortune. The Misfortune is 2-1, while Yone is 5-0. So Misfortune's not too fed because Rakan has taken 2 of the kills in the bot lane. So they're going a little back and forth down there. Shy is going to go ahead and clear some minion waves. He does have the help from Archer 66 as they did rotate from bot lane into the mid lane. A lot of back and forth. Karma missing the little butt damage there, little tab. Throwing it on down. Ornn's gonna throw in some damage, trying to get that knock-up stun, getting ready to position to jump in there and get the knock-up right there. Here comes Hecarim over from the side. Coles is trying to run away. Here's the ultimate from Ornn, throwing on down. He missed his ultimate and didn't get it off, and a shutdown on Karma coming from Hecarim. That's not looking too good. Here we go. We're walking on in. Shy and Archer in the mid lane as Rise steals Set's blue as he heads to bot lane, trying to get a little poke onto Jinx here. We might see some action in the bot lane. Here you see Shy is getting some good CS under tower here. Trying to get his cannon minion as he throws down some abilities. Getting that CS is key. He is tied on up. In the bot lane, you can see Misfortune has 148 CS over Jinx with only 68. That's not looking hot at all. Here we see Hecarim was able to take Herald, and he goes and drops it on down in the mid lane here. They do have 4 men, however, for University of Montana. Oh my goodness, Shy is jumping on in, getting a lot of good hits down onto Misfortune, throwing her down to 25% hit points. Here's the Rise, however, attacking Archer 66. The turret's doing some good shots, but it's at 1 hit point. There it goes. It's dropped on down. Rakan jumps on in. It's now 54, throwing on down onto the Coles here. He's trying to get out, but Hecarim jumps on in, getting a lot of good damage. Takes out Hecarim after he jumped on in onto the Karma there, and Archer 66 almost dropped as well. He tries to throw his Q down, gets a root onto Rakan. However, they have to back off. The turret's dropping. They're pretty evenly matched for gold. However, on both teams, Dragon's up in about 10 seconds. The team's moving on down here. DSU's heading straight for it. Dragon's gonna be up in 5. They are seeing Rise clear some Gromp camp right over there. And there's the team. They're trying to rotate on down over into the Dragon, trying to get a good run on in. There's Coles bringing in some heat, trying to take some damage for the team. Set jumping on in as well, bringing some good damage, gets the shield buff, He throws on in. Shy gets knocked over the wall as he dashed back and forth. Lots of good damage on Misfortune. She's going to get taken out. She's slowed. She's rooted. And a shutdown from Jinx onto Misfortune. Warren's looking low at 25% health, and red team secures Dragon as Hecarim tried to run on in there and get the smite off, but alas, he was a little too late, and Yone gets the kill onto the Hecarim there. Very nice, very nice. Down in the bot lane, Coles is going to help try to push it out as much as he can, throwing down that good damage and CS wave clear that Karma can hold. And here we see Emergency and Shy in the mid lane, taking out some good stuff. Very nice Dragon secure coming from the University of Montana. They're able to take it on back. They do have the first Mountain Drake. Now, Mountain Drake, if they can get all the way up to Dragon Soul, not necessarily that the game could last that long. I don't believe that they could get another 3 dragons. This game should go a little faster. Most games do. But if they were able to get 4 Mountain Drakes with the Mountain Soul, that's going to be a lot of armor and magic resist for the entire team. Really going to set up Set and the Karma for a strong team fight throughout the entire night here. So lots of good back and forth there. Alright, here we are. We see a little blasting cone usage on Shy here. He's throwing down, taking out pink wards, getting some gold. Trying to get some vision. Hecarim is here, however, and there's Ornn. He dashes over, getting ready to get on in. He dashes on there, jumps over the wall to get, and there's 2 team members from DSU to take out Yone from the mid lane. Root onto the Rise. Lots of good damage from Coles here. And Karma is able to take a lot of hits from Rise. He's getting just chunked out. Coles is not able to make too much. The impact on this Jet Jaguar flashing and pulling the Rise to him. Getting an ultimate onto the Rise as well. Throwing down a nice punch and a Zonies. Or was it stopwatch? It was a stopwatch from Rise as he threw it on down, and a nice little charm onto Coles, an ultimate stun onto the Misfortune. Misfortune now taken out after she ulted the Coles, and there's Hecarim for the cleanup with the ultimate and knock on down. Coles is getting some health back as he's healing with his abilities, throwing on down some damage on the Rakan. Hecarim trying to get some poke out here, throwing down that slow. He's chasing him out, but alas, he decides he's got to back on off of the team there to bring it on in. Very nice, very nice. Top lane is taken on the first turret there by Ornn in the top lane. Outer turret was destroyed. Now, even though University of Montana is up on kills by 7, you can look at the gold and see that they're about, DSU is about 1.2k gold up on the Griz, and that comes down to CS. You can take a look at the teams. You can see Ornn has about 20 CS on Karma. And, you know, Hecarim also has 20 CS on Set. In the mid lane, very even. In the bot lane, however, Misfortune is double the amount of CS that Jinx has, 180 compared to 95. Not looking too hot from the bot lane there. That's not a pretty sight at all. So that can really make or break the game right there. Alright, so we see a nice little stun right there. An ultimate coming from Archer as Coles is in on it. Here comes Set with the play. Throwing down, pulling Rakan in. He dashes over the wall. Gets rooted by Lux over the wall for an invisibility dash right there. He didn't have vision, but he still did a lot of good. Shy is trying to do some damage. He's going to die to the turret shot because he stayed too long. Oh my Che. Shy, what were you doing? What a play. What a play right there. Trying to do what he can. Oh my Che. Alright, Hecarim's trying to come in as the team did start Baron. Baron's at half health. Hecarim's still out there. They are getting assisting. Ornn's gonna throw the ult. Rise gets a kill on the Set right there. Roots go down. Hecarim's getting taken on out, but Coles is also getting popped down. Here we see a nice little play onto the Hecarim as he flashed over the wall to take him out. Archer 66 getting dropped by Rise, who got a triple kill. Ornn is up here chasing down Coles, and Coles is going to do some damage onto Rise, getting some hit points. He's getting taken down. The heal from Coles on his ability, bringing him in strong. He's getting some poke down, He's building tank, however, he only has tank items. He can't dish out that damage. Looks like DSU is going to start Baron as well. As Dragon's up in 5 seconds. They're most likely going to take Baron, rotate to Drag, secure that, bring them one away from the Dragon's soul. Wow. Yep, here they are rotating. Yone and Karma are getting ready to try to defend their position here on the team. They're trying to see what they can do. He pops down. Yone is going in, and he does try to get in and out, but alas, he died extremely quickly. He tried to dash back, but he died in the middle of his dash. Here we see some good damage on Ornn and Misfortune. They're looking extremely low for this team fight against Dragon. They do have a 5 against 4, but alas, they're trying to get some good damage. We do see a shield and pop down on set. He ults! Trying to get some good damage, but Misfortune takes him out, getting that life steal back from her, healing her back up to 2/3 hit point. And we see an ultimate drop down from Hecarim there, and the scuttle is taken. The Dragon has been started. It's a 3v5 if this team fight goes on down. The University of Montana does not have Smite, and Coles gets dropped on out. And here we see Jinx also getting dropped down fast. Lux has to get out of there. And the third, fourth Dragon, third for DSU, gets taken as they now have one away from Dragon Soul. We do see they are 5k gold ahead of the University of Montana. The University of Montana really needs to focus up, group together, really realize what they're doing, how they're playing. The Yone dashing against Ryze under tower in the top lane. We don't want to see those plays, no matter the KDA that we have. They've got to focus, regroup, retake this advantage, and head on up to the game. We see some scrying orbs from DSU sending on there, making sure they have some good old-fashioned vision around the map as they head on in down mid lane. Looks like they're running it on down, trying to get the mid lane going with the Baron buff and a 5-stack in the mid lane. Yone is in the jungle, however, and now 4v5 here under tower. They're chunking it on down here as the tower gets down. Inhib is now dropping fast, and here Yone is hopping on down, bringing it up from the jungle here. He might go on in. We see Set throw it on down. Lux getting a kill on Misfortune. Set having to do some more damage as Yone dashes back there as he hopped on in, getting off some good damage and some good poke. Set is also super low, and so is Jinx. Nice good shield from Lux coming in there. They're super low, and there we see a stun under turret on the Ryze as he ulted behind the entire team. Karma taking in Ryze. Turret shots going in strong. Here we see Set got healed back at the time of the main base. He healed on up with Coles, and they're throwing it on down. Coles getting some good slows onto Ornn here, and on the team, chasing him on down, getting vision. Hecarim trying to get some good heals off of the camps here. Throwing on down. Coles is keeping the sights on him. There we see a dash knock up on Coles from Rakan, and the back dash shield to get away from the team there. Very nice getaway escape coming from Rakan there. Well done. Well done. Misfortune down in the bottom jungle of her team, taking red buff, getting that good damage secured from the team there. She has a lot of good items right now with the Ornn item build from the IE. Ornn also has 2 items upgraded for him. You can see on the items little red corner square rotation, or kind of flash splash art on the items is Ornn being able to upgrade them to be better than what that normal item would be. He does have to be within a certain range of the champion who has an item that can be upgraded, and each person other than himself can only have one of their items upgraded like that. So it's really good advantage that Ornn can bring to the team. All right, here we see DSU is really bringing the turret pressure on. We only have 1 turret secured for the University of Montana, and that was from top lane. We won the top lane early on, and Karma rotated around a lot, but alas, that win from the top lane, building straight tank early on instead of building a little more damage is really hating down on Karma here. He's getting a lot of good poke on the Rise up in the top lane, however, but he's dishing it back out now that he's out of turret. Coles is doing some good damage, bringing him to half health. Coles is down, however, he's got to get that heal on. We do see a teleport from Rise, dropping on down. He gets a heal. He's doing the turret shot damage, but he has to back out of there. He gets rooted, however, under tower. And there's a Zhonya's right there. And there's the team back up in and out of a 5v5. 5 people in the top lane. His team is trying to come up from the turret, but Cole's is running in the wrong direction to get that support from his team. And their team has to back on out of there in now what would be a 4v5. DSU's bringing in the heat, taking on that damage. They now have a 6k gold lead for their team. It's not looking hot for the Griz. The game one just might happen to go to the DSU right here. As they're going on in, they now have another inhib down. That's 2 inhibs on the team. Double lane for the super minions. Yeah, you're right. That Zhonya's clutch was really good for Rise up there in the top lane. If he didn't have that, he would have been taken out by Karma. But alas, he did have that backup stop for that. And that's one Zhonya's, maybe just like a stop to get out of an ability, but it's actually good to stall for time. A misfortune ult from for the cliffs, and a knock up from Yone dropping on in there. He has to dash on out, and he gets back stun from Jet Jaguar, throwing an ultimate on down. It looks like Hecarim is going to get the dragon, however, and bring them into the Dragon Soul in the middle of the team fight, taking out Set as well. When they do so, they tried to make the play for Dragon to stop them from getting Dragon Soul, but alas, it just wasn't quick enough. They weren't able to stop him, as Hecarim was able to 1v1 Dragon while the rest of the team stopped the University of Montana from being able to do anything whatsoever. And here we see the towers are getting pushed by the super minions, throwing it on down. They now have double super minions in every lane because they have all 3 inhibs. And there's both towers from the Nexus dropping on down. Lux getting taken out. Jinx taking out a person. Yone taking out Misfortune. Azonius from Rise yet again dropping on down. The Winions, however, are taking out the Nexus. They aren't able to do anything as the Griz take the L. And DSU wins for game 1 of the night. We'll see what happens in the next game. We're going to take a quick little 5-minute break here as we get ready for round 2, and hopefully Griz can come on back from this defeat in game 1.